So let's move on to our keynote speaker. So I've known Chris and Christian, the founders of Phone Halo, for at least 3 years now. And they've helped me understand something about myself. I'm a loser. and so are you. You just don't know it. Phone Halo is a company that came out of the UCSB venture competition. I'll leave it to Chris to tell you about himself and about the company. 2 engineers who started the company and have been through a journey that many startups follow. The first product had trouble finding a customer base. The second product, not quite right. They've now pivoted into a place where they're just hitting the ball out of the park, and it has a lot to do with this crowdfunding mechanism. So how many in this room have bought something, have paid for something in a crowdfunding campaign? Not too bad. How about used crowdfunding? So fewer. Crowdfunding, especially if you make something, is an exceptional way to make money, but it's not as simple as putting a picture of your gadget on a web page and trusting that people will come to your campaign, see the genius of your product, and give you money. It's just like marketing and advertising a business, but the mechanics of it are a little different. And Phone Halo just completed a remarkable crowdfunding campaign that Chris is going to tell you more about. So Chris Herbert, CEO of Phone Halo. Before we start, we're going to start another tradition. You're going to help me impress my 15-year-old and 17-year-old kids. We're going to do a big selfie.
Thanks so much for having me. My name's Chris. I'm a loser too, so don't feel bad. If you name it, I've lost it. And that's kind of what we realized in the problem that we set out to solve: losing, misplacing items. In this talk, I'm going to go about a little bit of who we are. I'm going to go through points on how to be a successful crowdfunder, and then I'm going to conclude with a little bit of remarks on what the space and how crowdfunding is going to go moving forward. A little bit about me is I started Phone Halo while I was a student at UCSB. I studied electrical engineering. I met my co-founder freshman year. He was a mechanical engineer. We were surfing buddies throughout the college years, surfed and did homework together. And one day I actually, surfing, I parked my car at this mill where you can park on the sand. I parked below the high tide line. My keys fell out of my wetsuit. And so the high tide was coming up, and when saltwater hits the car, it ruins it. It was an extremely high tide that day. My parents were freaking out. 2 people with metal detectors came by the beach. I gave them $100 and to find my keys. How can we take this, prevent this? How can we eliminate losing items? Well, we thought, well, it would be great to take that database in your head of where your items are and move that to your phone. Just like how we used to remember all of our friends' phone numbers, that's now managed by our phone. We see a future where you're going to ask Siri, where's your keys? And she's going to tell you they're on the front camera. We do this with small electronic devices. This is our sticker tracker product. And you attach it to anything, then an app runs on your phone, it shows where it is, you can find around the house. And using our new Proud GPS technology, it enables you to find stolen items. So you can attach this device to, let's say, the on-foot bicycle. If it goes missing, we use other people's phones to help locate your lost item, crowdsourcing the location of stuff. But like a lot of startups, getting going, especially consumer electronics, is tough. You have to spend money on making this stuff before you can actually sell it to customers. And that's where crowdfunding came to the answer. If you're not sure what crowdfunding is, please take a moment right now and Google Indiegogo or Kickstarter and just look at this page for 5 seconds. My talk today assumes you have a basic knowledge of what crowdfunding is. And I'm going to go into the points now of how to be successful. But be warned, this is my opinion. People have very different opinions. The space is new, lots of new ideas, and no one is quite sure what actually works and what doesn't. So my first rule of crowdfunding is, the title of the speech is called 1.2 Billion Reasons to Love Crowdfunding, but it's actually 18,000. Focus on people. Don't focus on the dollar amount. The dollar amount doesn't matter when you're crowdfunding. Funding can come and goes. Capital comes into your business and then immediately goes out of your business. However, your customer relationships will stay. Crowdfunding is a remarkable way to dramatically scale your customer base. Not capital, but people. Successful crowdfunders keep this in mind when designing their entire campaign, and it changes how you design your page, how you design your price points, how you design your marketing message, your efforts, your PR outreach. Focus on people. It's not fluffy BS. It is the real kind of secret to crowdfunding success that most people get wrong. Next assumption that a lot of people make is that it's all about the video. The crowdfunding video, and you want to get the best of the best. And people up in SF, they're not as lucky as us down here in LA, in the film center of the world, and they spend $18,000, $25,000 on a 1-minute, 30-second video. And guess what? It doesn't matter. In our previous crowdfunding campaign, we had raised $350,000 with a video we shot with an iPhone. It has no difference on the quality of the video. What matters is your story. Just like the elevator pitches that we saw earlier, you need to have a clear, concise message that tells a clear story that will get people to buy. I want to show you my favorite crowdfunding video out there.
Even more enjoyable. It's called the Snapstrap. And it attaches easily to your earphone wires. The Snapstrap works by transferring the weight of the wire to the strap behind your neck. So if you're doing sports, such as jogging, or you're dancing, your earphones won't fall out of your ears. In addition, if you need to remove them quickly to say a quick hello, or hey, it's very convenient. Last but not least, the Snapstrap makes managing your earphone wires even less of a hassle without tangles. With your help and support, we can make listening to music even more enjoyable.
That is 55 seconds of pure gold. That's 55 seconds that brought $42,000 in. She introduces the problem, shows you the solution, and then she gives you 3 benefits, not features. It helps you keep your earbuds in your ears. It's convenient when saying hi to people. And finally, it keeps your earbuds clean and untangled. And then she does it with great clothes. This is a video that sells. People all the time will make great looking videos that can't sell shit. Make a video like this. And then if you want to spend the money to do a really nice video, show your videographer your video like this and tell them to imitate it, copy it. Videographers that you hire to make nice videos for crowdfunding campaigns do not know how to sell your product. You need to tell them specifically how to sell the product. If they knew how to sell the product and make videos, they will not be working with you. They will be working for Sony and huge consumer electronics companies. This is a chart that we got from our crowdfunding campaign on visits. And you can see our top visits are iOS, Android. This is comes out to about 70% of our site traffic. This is really monumental in how fast this is changing. 1 year ago, we launched a similar campaign where we saw 40% mobile traffic. This number is increasing at a rapid rate, and it not apply only to crowdfunding, but anything you do. Focus on the mobile experience first. Users and potential customers will be viewing your pitch on their phone, on their way to work, in between while pretending to work. They will be viewing it on mobile. So with that in mind, this is the landing page of Indiegogo, one of the popular crowdfunding sites that we use for our campaign. You can see exactly what you see here is on the first fold on the left is you just see your landing image with the video to hit play, quick value prop, and then how much money you raise by how many funders. You scroll down and you just see the price list. That's it. Which brings me to my next point. If the price list is the main thing people are seeing on your page, all that work that you did into your desktop landing page, making all the images perfect, choosing the right things to say, doesn't matter. They will view your video, scroll down, and see the price. Do not select random prices. This is usually, surprisingly, an afterthought, and just takes a little bit of, maybe some people are multiplying off their cost of goods sold, the cost that it takes to produce the product. Do pricing strategically. What we did in our pricing is straight out of a business book, Predictably Irrational. I highly suggest you check it out. And we offer our first product, one device, for $29. We then up it to $49, a little bit cheaper. But then we go for 5 devices for $95, and then 10 devices for $99. Double the amount for just $4 more. What this does is that we establish main value with the first initial price point of $29 for the product. We then have our $95 bait price. No one we expect to choose this price point. Everyone then compares the 99 to the 95, sees that it's a killer deal, and they choose 99. We are gaming the price point to go have people choose the higher price point to save more money, to gear up, and the $1.29 million, so that you look extremely successful, and it's a feedback. So there's one of my crowdfunding hacks of the night. This one is controversial, and I think it's big and it's changing right now. Press does not matter. You see tons of crowdfunding projects out there, and they will have 50, 60 press logos and no money whatsoever. The reason for this is that it's all these fast internet blogs. You can work hard and get your site on TechCrunch, and it will not matter. In 10 minutes, you're down one spot. In 30 minutes, you are below the page fold. In 50 minutes, you are off the first page. Your article was read probably by 100 people. So it doesn't make sense to focus all your time pitching press. We did not get a press write-up to do Tractor Bravo and raise the $1.29 million. We did not focus on press at all. What does matter, though, is sharing. While people are spending less time on these press sites and they're crowded, people are spending more time on Facebook. They're spending more time on Pinterest. They're on Twitter. And they're living off of these news feeds. In fact, successful press outlets push their content onto the news feed. That's where it should focus on being. And so what we do is we incentivize people that when they see our landing page, they can get an extra device if they just decide to share and refer people. You need to give people a reason to share. They're not going to share just because you're a nice guy or gal, or that the product looks really cool. What's in it for them? You need to give them something in exchange. A certain size where their referral programs engage at scale and they take over use fees. Finally, one of the biggest lessons that we had is email is still king. While there's social, Facebook, there's all these different ways to promote a campaign in crowdfund, the #1 way is still email. So if you're thinking about crowdfunding, I encourage you right now to start collecting as many emails as possible. Take the that business card scanner and scans everyone's business card that you collected tonight and put that in that database, because it converts and people will buy. While a lot of people are timid to really actively use their email lists, I suggest for crowdfunders to heavily use their email list. In our 40-day crowdfunding period, we shot off around 75 emails to our large list. And people will opt out. But that's why you have a big opt-out button there, so they can get off your list. You don't need to pay for them to be subscribed. But the ones that don't opt out will click in, they'll buy, and then they'll share to their friends, and you keep the campaign going. And also remember, with email marketing, sometimes your timing is off. Everyone has had that experience where you get that email right before you go into work, that thing to do. Oh, that cool product, oh, that looks cool, I'll get it when I get it. You get into the office, the boss gives you a new task, oh, you gotta get on that, and before you know it, you completely forgot about the product you're about to buy. So don't be scared to email them again. They want to hear from you. They just forgot about you temporarily. My other big point is updating your backers. This is not only important during the campaign, but afterwards as well. This is, for those of you not familiar, updating your backers is a feature on these sites where you post news about what is happening at your company, information, and you send it out to everyone. And it's public as well on the internet. So first thing to consider for this is you have to be open. And you have to be willing to be completely open with you when you crowdfund. Your competitors will know exactly what you're up to. And you have to be okay with that. But it also gives you a lot of power where your competitors are then start to think about you all the time, which is very nice. And then you're getting the inside story to your backers, and it empowers them and increases the chance that they're going to share, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell your story. And that's what your brand is. It's your company's story. This is one of the greatest branding opportunities out there, and most campaigners ignore it. So you can see we have around 60 updates already on our campaign, and every single time that we send out an update, we see around $5,000 come in. So updating brings in revenue as well. I'm still surprised why people don't do it. If you decide to do your campaign and you're successful, it's important to do, I suggest, weekly updates. Plan content in advance. Take photos around the office. Have some kind of contest plan so that you can give people up-to-date information each week. Because there will be a time where you're going to be late in your delivery process. And you're going to have to disappoint your fans, your backers. And they will be mad, but they will be less mad if you kept them up to date and they know your brand story and you have trust with them. If you don't keep them up to date and you break that brand story, then that trust is shattered and you're screwed. There's a successful crowdfunding campaign that was done this last year called Coin, C-O-I-N, for a smart wallet. They just didn't keep their backers up to date, and they just heavily delayed their shipment from an expected summer to next spring. They told the backers at the end of summer, for the first time, that this was happening. They have been getting an angry tweet 5 times a minute for 3 weeks now. That kills your brand, kills your stock, you can't raise, you're done. So be careful with crowdfunding and that trust element, because that is the final bridge here. Crowdfunding, it works because of trust. You are only able to raise as much as people trust you. So in the video I showed earlier, the founder was showing their face. Show your face, be yourself, get people to know you and know that you exist, that you are real, that you're not some internet scam. And be respectful for the time. And I think that it's important for everyone to adhere to these rules in crowdfunding. Because if we get bad actors in crowdfunding and the trust is broken, this huge possibility for entrepreneurs around the world will shut down because the trust has been broken with consumers. Crowdfunding is revolutionary, it's extremely powerful, but you have to have a lot of responsibility when you do it. Thanks so much, and I think I'll take questions.